Alrighty, let it start.
Good morning, everybody. I'll tell you, this
Morning.
chapter, when when I thought, oh, I'm going to put this letter to my mom, I thought, oh, man, why do I get the lame chapter to read?
You sound like Ruslan, Chuck.
But then I read it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then I read it.
Yeah, when are you writing your mom a letter?
And, oh, boy.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have to write my mom a letter. I just go down and talk to her. And, I thought it was kind of interesting because I really admired his candor here with his mom. And, I don't think when I was at that age, I would have had, that kind of candor with my mom. And, of course, I do now that I'm a little older. But,
Really?
yeah, he was really opened up to his mom. And it covered a lot of good points. And I think that I'd like to go through this letter and cover a couple of these points because there's a lot of things in here worth talking about. And then the first one, and I thought this was a great way to lead it off. I'll just read this little sentence to you. I'll never be quite the natural morning person that you are because I do some of my best work at night, but I've been trying to get up a bit earlier every week. I think the benefits of getting up early become more apparent only after making a commitment to yourself to do it.
Yep.
And I'll tell you, that's sure related with me because I feel the same way. I'm not really a natural morning person, but I do know that getting up early is better.
Yep.
And so
Yeah.
here I am. Yeah.
And I can honestly say that you look a lot better these days. I always tell when you were getting up, it seemed like, you could see people's emotions on their faces. And I'm like, Chuck, I think it's really, really beginning to like these morning things. I've seen the face get brighter.
Yeah, it's interesting. Veronica, you agree? I'm not seeing you, Veronica.
Yeah, we don't see
Get that camera off.
we don't see Veronica, Yolanda, CJ.
Yeah.
Yolanda and CJ, they're
Guys.
well, there's CJ right there. They're getting ready for work. So,
Yeah, that's true. They are getting
Yeah.
I understand that. They're kind of doing
moving around.
they're double duty right now.
That's true.
But
I am.
Yeah. I agree, Chuck. I mean, the morning thing is not the easiest thing to do.
no, it isn't. But
I love the morning.
nothing good is easy, it seems.
That's true.
Well, I don't know, but yes. Yes, I'm totally screwed up right now. Totally. But I'm here, guys.
But you have long weekends?
Yeah. Yeah, especially last night. But I'm here. I'm waking up. Sometimes you fail, but it's good for you.
Well, the next two little things I'm going to read will kind of put a fire under you on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he brings up an interesting point here that, you have to do it of your own free will. Because if you don't, it's just going to be a chore.
Yeah.
It wasn't until you invited me to the book club, Abdul, that I really didn't have a reason to do it of my own free will. When I did get up, only because I had to.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't because I had something fun to do or that I thought it was going to make my day easier or anything like that. It was because it was a chore, but then, this thing came along and it's fun and it's beneficial. And I've grown to, like y'all, like family. And, so I look forward to getting up every morning. I look forward to Monday morning so that
I like that.
I can see some of my closest friends and talk about things, and it's just great. Lick, everybody.
Lick.
Yeah, where's Carol? She'd like that.
And He says, this one's for you, Veronica. He says, knowing that I've got a commitment to get up the next morning forces me to be more disciplined with my time throughout the day, and especially in the evening.
Yep.
Veronica.
Hit a nail on the head, Chuck.
Yeah. I know, and whoever's not here, man, I hope they're listening to this.
No, because it's true. Like all of us, we think about our next day.
I know, it's terrible. I'm like, oh, well, shoot, I got the book club, I don't know if I'm going to stay out.
Like if we decide whether we're going to go to a concert or...
Yep.
Or like, well, it's awfully late,
Yes, thank you for ruining our life, Abdul.
We save money, too, because then we're not spending money foolishly on maybe going to a concert or something.
Of course.
Right?
Hashtag life is short.
If I see 11 o'clock,
Oops.
Billy, you're sounding like one of those singers with the auto-tune.
Can you hear me now? Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, we lost you for a minute.
It was cutting out for a second.
No, I said that. If I stay up past 11 o'clock, I start to think like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna really feel it tomorrow if I don't go ahead and lay it down.
Oh yeah.
You're in trouble already at that point.
Yeah.
Yep. Sure.
So, hey, as I read through this letter, there were just so many things in here that kind of resonated with me. And, tell me if this kind of resonates with any of you. And when I'm truly focused on a mission, nothing else exists.
Hmm.
I mean, does that ring true for any of you guys? What it does for me, if it's something I'm really into,
Yeah.
man, I am on it like a dog on a piece of meat.
Yeah.
So are you saying you cut everything else out and you just kind of hyper-focus there?
Well, I'm not saying I cut everything else out, but man, I tell you, it's on my mind.
Wow. Okay.
Like a project you're working on or something, or like the slides that you worked on?
Well, like the slides, when I decide that I'm going to get that done, I'm going to be on that. And
Yeah.
Like the webinar slides.
Exactly.
I'll schedule time to get my commitments done, of course. Go ahead, Yolanda.
I think focus on nothing else, big blanket statement, because I think that's why I'm hesitating to respond to that, because I am not really cutting everything else out, like going in a room and locking myself in.
I mean, that idea is really appealing to me, but it's impossible to do because we all have commitments.
Yeah.
So what I do and what I will do with this is block out time on my schedule.
Okay.
Because you have to do your work. You have to meet whatever commitments you have to other people.
That's true.
There's no way that you can just shirk your responsibilities because you got a project.
Yep.
But
That'd be nice.
That would be nice, yeah. But it wouldn't be fair to other people, especially people that are paying you.
Yeah.
So what I do and what I will do with this is just block out time where it's like, okay, from 7 a.m. until noon, that's project time. And then after lunch, I'm on with my regular work that I need to get done.
So everything can get done. Okay. That makes sense.
And, I think, I don't know about y'all, but, if I want to be really honest with myself, I waste enough time during the day doing stupid stuff that there's enough time to get more done.
Exactly.
Every minute browsing Facebook or
Instagram,
going on little rabbit trails with on YouTube, and all the stuff that we do during the day that 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, those kind of things, they add up.
Yeah.
I think that if I was more efficient, there's more than enough time. Other people get stuff done.
Of course.
Yeah, it's focus. I agree 100%. And sometimes it sucks to be honest with yourself, but I just could not agree more with this. There is enough of time for all the important things.
Yeah, you're right, Veronica, because it does suck to be honest with yourself.
Yeah, it really does.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
So how do you do it? Because you've got a major responsibility that's like standing right there most of the time.
Yeah.
With your son, so.
Oh, that's true.
It's been a little rough lately.
Really, I mean, that responsibility trumps everything else.
That's true.
Yeah. It does. But I'm very lucky. I just have a schedule for what I do with him. And it's been a little rough because I didn't know that the other business will be taken off. So I do actually need to have every day assigned a week ahead. Like every day assigned a week ahead. So instead of jumping from one thing to another, having the time blocks, I think, are pretty awesome. When you have a time block, period.
So you're blocking out time. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's something that all the experts say is the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody else in here do time blocking?
Yeah, I've actually been doing the Pomodoro technique, and I really like it because literally it's just you set and you say, I got 25 minutes to do this specific task, and you do it. No, like you get stuff from Facebook, nothing that can come in between that time, because if you do it, you feel guilty. You're like, well, no, I only have to dedicate 25 minutes to this, so I can stay off of Facebook for 25 minutes. I can stay off of do this other distraction thing in 25 minutes. So I really.
Abdul, you're breaking up, brother.
Yeah, you're breaking up.
Oh, is it that again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're moving around.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm saying I do the Pomodoro technique, and I really like that because it's 25 minutes of whatever you are going after, and that's just what you do. So to surf on Facebook is really like, you feel guilty because you're like, I can do this task for 25 minutes, so Facebook doesn't even matter. Another task doesn't even matter.
Well, yeah, because you only have 25 minutes, and you got to hustle on.
Yeah, exactly. If you can't do something for 25 minutes, that's pretty sad. You really have some more work to do.
Yeah.
I bought this timer cube thing. I've probably shown this to y'all before. This.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I very rarely use it, but it's kind of the same thing where you just you decide how many minutes. It's got different amounts of minutes on each side. It's like, all right, 15 minutes. Boom. I'm going to start.
It's awesome.
And that's that. But I don't like it. I don't like it, so I don't use it. Oh, so Pat's pointing at the book like, oh, I like the track. Oh, boy.
With the pot calling the kettle black.
Sure is. He kind of goes on in his letter to Mom. And, well, it's a long letter to Mom, too.
He said it was.
Yeah.
He said his mom would be the only one that would read it.
This is something that I found to be true for me. That when I was younger, most things came pretty easily to me. School, drawing, soccer, piano, etc. I'm not saying that I ever really mastered any of these things, but getting to a certain level of proficiency was pretty easy. Mm-hmm. But you know how it is, as you get older, the type of things that you want to do become tougher and require greater determination.
Yep.
It's easy to say to yourself, yeah, I could do that if I wanted, but actually doing it is a different story altogether.
Mm.
And, I really gave that a lot of thought last time as I sipped my martini and read through the chapter. that I was wondering, because a lot of people assume as you get older, because it does get harder as you get older. I've noticed that. And so are we changing, or are the goals changing? I really think it's just that as we get older, we're choosing larger goals.
I agree with that.
It's both.
I don't
think
think
it's both. We're changing and the goals are changing.
you think so. You think we slow down as we get older? I don't.
I don't think we necessarily slow down. I think we move towards more of an urgency of things. So it's not slower.
Yeah.
Before I go to this, can you guys hear me? Am I like sounding like T-Pain right now?
You sound good.
What? Okay. So I don't know if you guys noticed this, but Mel Robbins and this guy have a lot in common.
Yes.
And what I mean by that is Mel Robbins went to freaking law school. Most people stop there and say, I'm just going to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
That wasn't enough. Mel Robbins was also a CNN reporter. Most people stop there. This guy worked for AIG. Most people stop there. He just kept adding things on, and I could see how the outside world was like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? He's in China. He's making a six-figure career in China when the cost of living is very low.
Yeah.
And it's like, why wouldn't he stop there? Why did he just stop this thing? And his wife has it seems like on the outside at this point, they're all over the place.
Yeah.
That's a good observation.
I want to say this, Abdul. Back in the day, like the older days, your parents, my parents kind of thing, and their parents, they're used to staying at one place. So let's just say they worked for the flour mill. I'm making that totally. They would be at that flour mill for 35 years, in some cases 60 years. And so the fact that we now have the ability to jump around, move around, add things, make choices, basically, is scary to them. It's very, oh my God, it's not certain, you're not sure, that kind of stuff. And sometimes they raise their kids that way. So if I'm a lawyer and I'm successful and I'm making six figures as a lawyer, how dare I think I want to, stop being a lawyer because it's the greatest career in the world. That was sarcasm. And go do something like sell books and talk on stage to people.
Yeah.
So that mentality is very much so there. They still teach it today, and I'm a firm believer in, listen, I'm not putting this on anybody else, but I'm a firm believer in that's why colleges still exist, because they teach you, go to school, get an education, get a good job, and stay there, which is called the 40-40 plan.
Interesting.
What does that mean, 40-40 plan?
You work 40 hours a week for 40 years to retire on 40% of your income.
Wow.
Ooh,
That
sounds good.
It sounds boring, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I remember when I was growing up, my parents, not growing up, but as a young adult, parents would say, like, man, I just wish you could get in with a good company.
Oh.
And my God. Because that's, back in their generation, that's how it was done. And of course, you all know I kind of come from a blue-collar background. And that's the way it's done. You get in with a good company, and you retire there, and you do exactly what Yolanda just described. But, there aren't any good companies anymore. That's not the way the system works these days.
Yeah.
I have to say, the people that follow what Yolanda described as a 40-40 plan, you don't hear about. But the people that are all over the place, you read about. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's called making waves, Abdul, making waves.
Yeah.
Well, that's a perfect segue into this. It says, you don't want to look back and say, man, I should have just given it a bit more effort. And maybe if I did, things would have turned out differently.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely don't want to be, getting into your old age thinking like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said before, I keep thinking of memento mori. Anybody familiar with that phrase? It's Latin for remember you will die.
Yeah, I remember death.
Oh.
Or that's kind of loosely translated. But that's why, on a lot of old, if you go to cemeteries, on a lot of old tombstones, you'll see skeletons or skulls or things like that. Things like that. That's memento mori. That's to remind the viewer of that you also are going to die.
Thank you, Chuck.
And that was a custom back then to put these things. And you'll see it in old churches too. You'll see carvings of bones and skulls and things of that nature. And that's a reason for that, is because they want to remind the viewer that you're going to die.
What
Yeah.
kind of church is this? I ain't never seen nothing like that.
You don't see it down at your local church, CJ, but like you go to Europe and some of the old churches there from,
Okay, now we're talking.
1500s, 1600s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very true, Chuck. Because
They had goals or something outside Notre Dame, that big Catholic church in Paris.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What did they have, CJ? Goals?
Gold, I don't know what you call them things. They're like little demon thingies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gargoyles. The gargoyles. But they also had those, right, but they also had those people, Chuck, now that you mentioned it, over the door, the entryways of the doors.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some of those old churches, they actually keep real skeletons in there.
Right.
Glass cases.
We saw them.
Yeah, we have mummies. We have one thing that's really, I think it belongs to the world's treasure. It's a beautiful cathedral you'd never think, but they actually have like little kind of graves with a bunch of mummies in it. So I really wasn't sure about that.
The church I grew up in, I was Catholic. I was raised Catholic in Guyana. Our churches kept their bodies of their past priests in stone tombs in the building.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel that it's even scary that like if you never lived, we talk about death and it's a good reminder, but I just want to say that sometimes you don't have to worry that you will die, but you have to, you better be concerned that you never lived. I really think that some people they just don't live, like they just don't live to the fullest. I don't. It's like sometimes I go to particular places, like guys, I've been going to library, and I can tell you if I need to get something done, I need to go to the library because the energies there is like everybody died. Like there is no drive, there is no distraction. The people who work there, they're like, I can't explain it.
And I've been hesitant to do this. Have you guys ever seen a death clock?
Yeah.
What?
No, I don't even know what that is.
A death clock. So let's say you say, I'm going to die when 80. You actually set the time on a death clock, and you see it every day. So not only do you see the time, you see how much time you have left. And I'm thinking to myself, if that isn't an eye-opener, I don't know what is. Because you want to talk about, you want to immediately stop wasting time. If you saw the time, you're like, if I died 80, I literally have that much time left. So I'm not going to watch this TV show tonight. I'm going to get off my butt and do some stuff.
How do you know?
What's that, Pat?
How do you know when you're going to die? You don't know.
You don't know. You just pick a year.
Oh,
You just say, hey, according to this, I'm probably going to die when I'm 80. So you find out that clock is still ticking while you're sitting around outside throwing a football or whatever.
And 80 is kind of very generous, you know. It's very generous. It's like, it's a long life.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Not when you're almost 60, it's not.
Oh.
Maybe it's a long life for Russian people.
My mother lived to be 90.
Wow.
So I have a long life, I think.
I better be quiet.
You better be quiet, you. But that means I only have 20 more years, which isn't much.
Better hustle up.
Well, you can do a lot in 20 years.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's coming. Yeah.
Veronica, you only had 20 years left. What would you say?
Wow.
Well, let's add
What
on
would you
to
do?
that.
That's right.
I'd say let's rock it. Let's have a lot of fun.
You could die this afternoon.
That's true.
None of us are guaranteed tomorrow.
Nope.
You're right.
That's why these things are so important.
Yes.
You know, we getting done what we need to do.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And in my case, the answer is no. Not every day.
Yeah.
Oh, it's getting real quiet here.
Yeah. So this guy, you know, this kind of explains why he's working so hard.
Mm-hmm. Well, you also have to remember in the last few chapters ago, you know, he had an awakening with his type 1 diabetes.
Yes, he did.
I think that
A big awakening.
That really impacted his life as well, because you know, type 1 diabetes, you can,
Yeah, people
not
die.
always, but you can expect a shorter life expectancy.
Of course.
Mhm.
Possibly, you know, not all the time, because it affects your cardiovascular system, your whole neurological system. I mean, it can affect so many things. So
Yeah.
if you don't take care of yourself, especially if you don't keep your insulin levels correctly. So, you know, him looking at that, and he has a wife and a child, and, you know, I think that is, you know, if we don't have something like that in our lives that hits us like with a baseball bat in our head, like, wow, you know, from a health perspective, I think that can affect you differently.
Yep.
So people say if you want to figure out what you should do with your life, picture that you have $10 million in the bank and don't need another penny. What would you spend your time doing? We've all heard this exercise.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So
Living life.
So what do you think of it? Is that how you decide what to do for a living?
No. You can't use this term "do for a living" when you don't have to go to work for a living.
But the
When you don't have to go work for it.
That's how you figure out what your passion is, and that's what you should do with your life.
Yep. That's how you really fill out your paperwork
That's
to what you want to do.
I mean,
in
it's
life.
just kind of a mental exercise.
Y'all already know what I want to be when I grow up.
Yeah. You said, I like you say when you grow up. You start making some courageous decisions when you start writing things on a paper when you pose that question.
Anybody else ever give that any thought?
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about the $10 million in the bank. I can't get past that part yet, so give me some time.
That's fine. We'll come back to it.
Sean, did you say something?
No.
Oh.
I'm learning about money market accounts. I signed up for a financial peace thing that Chuck and Pat had recommended. I started in there yesterday. And the first goal,
Yeah.
as much as my wife is kind of really backing me up in it, she didn't get a chance to attend to it. But the first thing I got to do is obviously the first is the $1,000 in the bank, which is not a problem. And the third goal is actually set up like 3 to 6 months of your backup.
Emergency fund.
Going to start a money market account today and transfer over 30,000 just to kind of knock those goals out.
That's
Great.
good.
Man, that's
That's
excellent.
good. Organizing that money.
And how how fortunate that you can do that. That's great, man.
Well, dude, like I said, I mean, I know, I really appreciate you talking. I'm not trying to derail the group. I'm really blessed. I mean, I make really good money, but it goes just as quick as it comes. And I feel like there's no firm handle on it. Like, I don't feel like it's my money at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Sean, you don't have to open a money market account. I'll give you the account number to transfer it to. Oh, Lord. Okay, I'm done joking for the day.
Yolanda's always thinking.
You know,
something that I've realized, too, that kind of comes with believe it or not, with the whole bipolar and manic depressive stuff like that, there's actually a tendency just to splurge on money, to buy stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. We kind of covered a lot of that in the Secrets of the Millionaire Mind.
Yeah, it's true.
You buy your self-esteem.
One thing it said in the book, in this chapter, Sean, that I really liked is that he got control of his life. I know toward the end, and I think that is one thing that you will get when you finish with Dave Ramsey and the Financial Peace University, is that word control for you and your wife is going to really be a big factor in your life. You're going to feel like you have more control over every aspect of your life. Not just financial.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, the author in his letter to his mom said achievement is one of the greatest motivators in life.
I agree.
And it's true. When you start getting a little bit of a success feeling about something, man, that really fuels you.
Well, that's kind of where I'm at, dude. I feel like I've plateaued. I've kind of accomplished what I was after.
Yeah.
And then I'm just, maybe I don't know if you like Yolanda. I mean, but we made a decision. We're going to move down there in May. We're moving back to Florida in May. So that's something to look forward to.
We actually made a decision on your behalf about that you're going to buy Yolanda's house.
Yeah, you're going to rent it back to Yolanda and then move down here.
And we have a plan. I'm going to be presenting that to you later today.
The decision has been made.
A 5-bedroom, 3-bedroom house. It would be perfect for you.
That really would. Where are you? You're in Brandon, aren't you, Yolanda?
Dover.
Just outside Brandon.
Right. It's just a stone's throw.
I mean, it's literally...
I'm off of Valrico Road and Wheeler. Let me just make it very easy. Don't say Dover. I'm off of Valrico Road and Wheeler, which is considered Valrico if you go out my back entrance, and if you go out the front entrance, it's considered Sefner.
Gotcha. Do you know where, I believe it's 301 and Causeway?
Absolutely.
That's where you used to live, right there. How far away from there was that?
20 minutes.
Okay, cool.
That's street traffic. Just 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's right close.
It's so close to everything. It's amazing.
Excuse me.
We actually really did have that conversation yesterday, Sean, that we're going to sell you the house when you move. And you can buy it now. You can buy it now, and we'll rent it from you till you get here.
There you go.
Got a little plan of action for you.
Oh, a whole setup.
Clearly. I knew my ears were burning yesterday.
And now you know why.
Right.
Yep, that's why.
Leave it to the book club.
So, anyway, that motivation thing, achievement is a good motivator. Have y'all noticed that when you start getting some success, it really gets you fired up?
It does.
Yeah.
Like
just even little things. Just want to say, just even little things. They're so. I think just a little progress when you notice it, it's very satisfying, and I think it's very reassuring, kind of.
Yeah.
I loved his SAT story that he got. I don't know, it was 1,200 on the SATs, and he wanted to get 1,400. And the teacher who was doing his, slam bam course was like, oh, you know, we only get like 100 points more. And he was like, 100 points? Like, hell no.
That's not gonna get me where I need to be.
That's chump change. And he's like, no. And he got like a 1380, which was like almost the 1400 that he wanted to get. So he got like, I don't know, 280 points more or something. So he was really happy. And he said that's how he got into Brown University, besides all of his A's in school that he got. But so it's really amazing to, you know, when you put your mind to something, you really can focus and do it.
Yeah.
And I think that Levesque translated over in because. Oh, I'm breaking up again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that lesson actually translated over into Chinese because he learned early on that if you apply something, you may not get where you want to be in a small amount of time, but over time, you can get better at it.
Mm-hmm.
And another kind of motivator for him was that when he was doing the Chinese thing, learning Chinese, he found that it's just distinctly possible he may be the worst one in the class.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he decided to himself, like, there is no way I'm going to be the worst one in the class.
Mm-hmm.
And has there ever been any times where you're like, there is no way I'm letting that person beat me? That happens on a regular basis with me.
I know in photography there was for you at one point.
Oh, there isn't everything. There's always like, there's no way I'm letting him or her beat me. That is not going to happen.
See, I hear the competition thing. I think I'm probably more in competition with myself versus anything.
Mm.
Like I always say, like I'm doing the Arabic right now, and I always say, like some people in the class, like, man, you sound like a teacher with your pronunciation, and I think I developed that from music. Like you have to have an ear when when you're playing out of tune and stuff like that, so you have to listen attentively to what a sound is. So I think music helped me develop that.
Or they just flatter you.
That's probably it.
Well, yeah, being in competition with yourself may be more healthy, yeah.
But that's not necessarily the case. Yeah.
Maybe you need Arabic boot camp for 8 weeks. Immersion.
I know.
That'd be awesome.
Just jump in. See, stop this.
English. You're not allowed one word of English to nobody.
Yeah, that's intense.
That's intense.
He'll come back here and with an accent. We can't understand.
I want to ask, by the way, how many people in the group would do something like that?
I would.
I would definitely do it.
Definitely.
I would go to Italy in a heartbeat right now. I'd leave today.
Really?
Oh God, yeah.
I would do it.
I'd go to one of the cooking schools over there and learn how to cook and be immersed in one of their cooking schools and just speak Italian.
Yeah, we are different here. I can tell.
Ted, what's on your way?
What's that?
What's on your way?
Oh, like what's in your way?
Yeah.
What's in your way?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
what is stopping you, Pat?
Things like food and shelter.
Yeah.
It's the little things.
Little things.
Yeah, well,
Lucky's in the way.
After we master the Ask book, maybe we don't have to have anything in our way. 23 streams of income.
Chuck's face.
So Veronica, you're laughing. Would you do it?
Ooh.
You know, I kind of did something like that. When I was in Turkey. When I was like 21, I was living in a place that wasn't very touristic when I was living. So I did learn. I don't speak fluently, but I really learned like all the basics, and it was really very challenging, and it was very it was really challenging, and it was really big learning curve for me because I needed to survive, and I didn't want to be like a foreigner, so I was trying to open my ears and just listen. I mean, I still remember everything because you guys know I went in July. I made friends who speak no word of English and no word of Russian. That was awesome.
Oh, that's great. Now, I know that you speak several languages. Is that how you've mastered the languages that you know?
No, with English, of course, there was a lot of work. That was a lot of work with grammar and vocabulary, and that's, I don't know Turkish on this level, but I really it was a survival thing. I really needed to learn to just understand what's happening. So after 10 years now, or 10 or more years now, I still remember. And I think we are capable of being very observant in extreme conditions.
What you know about them Ebonics, though?
What?
I was fluent in Ebonics. I was fluent in Ebonics on my resume all the way up until 2015.
Oh my gosh, that's what you said, TJ? Oh my god.
Chicken and Ebonics, baby. What's up?
So I have a story about language. Like, so my kids, they're Mexican and black, and their grandmother is like full Mexican, and she didn't speak any English when she was in the U.S. And she married a guy who was in the military, and shortly right after that marriage, he actually was stationed in Korea. So that meant that he had to leave for a whole year, and he had some kids, and she was a stepmom, leave for a whole year, and you can't take your family with you. She had to learn English, and she basically learned English from watching soap operas and watching TV, American TV. She learned the whole language from that. She never physically enrolled in a school or anything.
That's awesome.
So, I go to a nail salon, and they are speaking Vietnamese there.
Yeah.
And so as they're talking, I say stuff like, what did you just say? What are you saying? And he'll say, we not talk about you, kind of thing, or whatever, right? And so I said, but I want to be involved in the conversation too. So tell me what you're saying. And he says, you want to know what I'm saying? You learn the language. And I was like, I'm trying to learn the language. He said, it's hard. We come to America, we got to learn English. You want to know what we're saying? You learn our language. So he taught me the morning and thank you. And so when I go back, I got to tell him what I have to repeat it to him. Next time I go to the salon, I have to remind him that I know what good morning and thank you is. And he'll tell me another word kind of thing. But he told me what stood out of the whole conversation was, he said, we have to come to America and learn English, and it's hard. He said, English hard. I learned other language, and it's not hard. English hard.
Wow. That's true.
And he said, we have to learn it so we can communicate. So if you want to know what we're saying, you learn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn right.
Learn the language is not easy, and I've been in certain places in America where it was like, stop speaking the other language. And when I hear that, I'm like, that's basically admitting that you're lazy at language. You're basically saying that English is the rule of the land. I don't need to learn anything else. But when you learn another language, you begin to think different.
Yeah.
It opens something inside of you that you didn't even know you can tap into. So I'm like, learning another language, that's actually a smart thing to do.
This is very true. It really expands your mind. And I just want to say, like, for example, with Turkish, like with English or Russian, when you say, I don't want to do this. In Russian or English, you say do like some things, and you say not part, then you say the verb. Just it's similar. But in Turkish, it's the letters changes inside of the word. So if you say yes or not, like you want to do or you don't want to, you don't want to know, they have letters changing in the middle of the word. So it's like it really expands your mind, like how
it does.
And the language also reflects mentality. I've noticed how much English words now Russian people start to use because they're shorter. Our words are very long. They're very long. So it really opens up your world.
Yeah, it does.
So good morning in Vietnamese is a whole sentence. It's very long. And it's like you have to say a whole sentence just to say good morning. And I'm just saying 2 words. So it sounds like a whole sentence because of how you're saying it. So
Yeah.
and good morning in Japanese is 1 word. So that's weird. But you mean to learn another language you have to use both sides of your brain?
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
I was amazed when we were in Paris. The one of the guys at the hotel, the front counter, he spoke French, he spoke English, Arabic, some sort of Chinese. I'm like, he's like, I just do it for fun. I'm like, really?
Well, not even that, because I'm sure those tourists come from those countries, and it probably could help him, just get along with the tourists better if he can speak in their mother tongue. Because people they become excited when you can do that. What's that, Yolanda?
I said financially it helps him a lot to know all those languages.
Yeah.
But sitting at the front desk of a hotel, I don't think he was a high-end earner. He just loved to learn.
Yeah.
I gathered talking to him.
I remember, you know how sometimes they'll have these little boats, the tourists pile in and they kind of give you a little tour around the town in a boat, a small boat. The guy drove the boat, and these are small boats. It's not like a captain or anything. Like a little boat with maybe 20 people. Yeah, you're like, okay, English, that's why, they had people raise their hand, and he rattled through a whole bunch of languages so that he'd know, like, which languages he'd need to say everything in.
Wow.
And, there must be 5 or 6 different languages on this little trip. And I thought, this dude just drives a little boat around. He's, like CJ said, he's probably not a high-wage earner, I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I just had a funny memory, guys, just something funny. So when this last time I was in Turkey in that hotels, and sometimes I was coming live, once, like, every manager from the hotel, like, once they knew that I speak the language, like, every person has, like, face of horror. Like, they had, like, the face that expressed horror, because I did not show it my first days. I didn't show that I know the language. I just enjoyed my vacation. And then I said something, and the whole staff meeting, like, because they started to worry what they were talking about, because they talk about stuff, and, like, I remember faces of surprise and horror, and it was, I think it can happen because people just don't expect, I think we're living in a culture where we're just lazy. I think people don't expect those things, but on the other hand, you can make friends really easy.
Yeah, it's true. You don't look like you would know Turkish.
Yeah, I know.
So here's another.
You do, Chuck.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. I would fit right in. Yeah, they'd be saying, "Yeah, you're not from around here, are you?" You want me to get back on track?
Yeah.
What's got in you today? Huh?
I'm hyper today.
You're usually the worst violator.
I know, I'm hyper today.
Oh, great.
I'm the dog running around.
It's going to be a long day today, people. All right. So, yeah. So anyway, he's relating a story to his mom, how one thing that sticks in his mind is about his very best athletic performance when he was playing soccer was in a game where he didn't score and his team did not win. But here it is 10 years later, and that's the most memorable game of his entire soccer career. Mm-hmm. And the reason why it's a memorable game is because that was the game where even though he didn't score and the team did not win, he gave 100%. He did not leave anything on the field, in his words. It was 100% effort. He wanted to win. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's not really the winning so much, is it?
No.
You know, if you think back,
Oh, no, it's winning so much.
winning's nice. But, you know, I can think of a lot of times. So when I was younger and skinnier, I used to do off-road motorcycle racing. And
Yeah, right.
when I think back, the ones that stick in my brain are ones where I just finished middle of the pack like everybody else. But they stick in my brain. Of course, winning too, but even you know, those stick in my brain more than winning.
Well, if you don't give 100,
You're breaking up.
Breaking up.
if you don't give 100%, you start to ask yourself the questions like, well, what would it look like if I gave 100%? Am I really better than that? Like right now, you know, with the 315 pounds, I've been afraid to put the fourth plate on there. Like, could I really lift the fourth plate? I really don't know until I put it onto the bar. But I haven't had the mental shift yet. It sounds easy, but it's a mental shift in my head.
Hashtag
I feel that way too. I've run into that.
You do that? You do that, CJ?
Yeah, but it was with pizza though. It was like that fifth slice.
Yeah.
I think I could do it.
Am I going to be able to get it down?
So I've been holding myself back.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are the fifth slice.
So what would happen if you couldn't lift it, Abdul?
Really nothing. I would just have to like have somebody get the bar off of me or whatever if I couldn't lift it.
Yeah, but you're going to have a spotter anyway when you're lifting that much.
Actually, I don't. I don't have a spotter.
I was going to say, it don't sound like he has a spotter right now.
No, I don't have a spotter right now. Maybe I should get a spotter for the fourth one, the fourth plate.
Yeah, but that's not you because you're going to have to talk to him.
I
know. I would have to go over there and bother them, say, hey, would you mind come over here spot me? And usually if you ask somebody for something like that, they get all scared. Like, dude, what if it falls on you? Like, you know, so maybe you have to get two.
Come on, man. Nobody does that.
Nobody does that.
What do you mean?
Liability insurance.
Not in Florida, but they probably do it in Sioux Falls.
No, the answer is always, yeah, sure, man.
Oh, no. That's always the answer. Like, I've had guys literally panic. Like, no, I don't want to be responsible for that fall on your chest.
What? That's crazy. Man, there must be different. What kind of man is that?
Well, that's why they call it Sioux Falls. Sioux.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
You need to settle down.
Simmer down, Cody.
All right, 6:59. We're going to close with this statement here.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't identify the person, but he says, someone famous once said, there is no greater satisfaction for a man than to be self-reliant.
Ooh, I agree. I agree with that.
I don't.
What is your thing on it, Yolanda?
Well, you're
What
not
does reliant mean?
to be self-sufficient.
Right.
Would be another way of saying it.
And it's okay to be self-sufficient, but you allow a lot of times to be self-sufficient, you're prideful.
A lot of times to be self-sufficient,
Well,
you're prideful.
that can spring out of it, but it doesn't have to.
You're frightened. You're prideful.
It's he goes on to say it comes down to control and self-reliance.
Yeah. Mm.
And you know, you're right, Yolanda. You know, pride does spring out of this frequently, but we can do this in a way that we're not prideful, because there are a lot of good reasons why we need to have control and self-reliance. To really be able to serve our fellow man and to really contribute and leave some kind of lasting benefit to everybody, we have control and self-reliance to be able to do that.
That's true.
So that'll be our thought for this morning, is we're going to work hard today, and what are we going to do to serve our fellow man today and make our money?
Yeah, I like that.
That's what we're all here for.
I like that. I like this. Sean, what did you think about this chapter?
I didn't read it.
Oh, okay.
He's honest.
He's honest. I didn't read this chapter.
Well, I was just lying about it. I didn't read it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of went over the gist of it.
I was kind of like skimming. That's why I was so quiet. I was kind of skimming through it while you guys were talking about.
Hey, that's fine.
And I just want to say that's the good thing I like about the book club, because this guy that I talk to about marketing, I always hear him start these books, and he kind of like, he never finishes. And I was like, the book club kind of forces you to finish a book. Like, I mean, before this book club started, I remember I used to have so many books I would read, and I would just never make it to the end. So it just kind of keeps you on that pace type thing. So that's what I like. But I'll take tomorrow.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think we're starting on implementation coming soon. I think we've only got 2 more chapters of him telling us stories.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that.
I like how he leading you up to this, to that whatever, at least. I like that.
Each chapter I'm getting more fired up and ready for it.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to jump off, whatever. Jump in the shower, but yeah, you too. You guys take care.
All right. Have a good one.
Have a good day.
Hey, Chuck, before you go, you got a minute?
Yeah, sure do.
All right.
Oh, let me I'm gonna make Chuck the host here.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I'm leaving.
Hey, good luck in your meetings. Hey, Sean, what's going on, man?
Well, to do this with this money market account, we're pretty much leveraging everything that we have to do that. And I was kind of curious, do you think it would be smarter to kind of pay off my debt before I did that?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I was kind of thinking too.
Yeah, because Dave Ramsey's plan, getting your debt paid down comes before getting your 3 to 6 months, if I remember right.
Right. Because I got some stuff that's going to come bite me in the bottom in the next couple of months if I don't knock it out.
Yeah, and if you think about it, your greatest money savings is going to be knocking out debt.
Right.
Because the interest is just killing you probably.
Well, I mean, I don't have any type of the only loan I have is on the car.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I'm upside down on that. But the other, it's just like vendor accounts and stuff like that, stuff that I'll probably end up getting sued if I don't knock it out.
Oh, yeah, knock that stuff out because if you have to defend yourself legally.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Oh, man, that's so expensive and time consuming.
But I really am committed on coming down there in May. In fact, I actually started a Tampa Bay digital marketing meetup.
Did you really?
Yeah, to try to actually just get like a user base before I even got down there.
Yeah, start getting a little network of people.
Yeah, so it is something that's, it really gave me something to look forward to.
Hey, I got to tell you, it really made my day when I read that. Actually, I didn't read it. Pat told me. And I was like, oh, man, that's great.
I can't wait, man. I'm really happy. I think my boy will have a much happier life down there.
I think so, too. I think it's probably a lot better environment.
It is. I know it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to it.
And there's something about moving where it's kind of like, just wipe the slate and, you can do whatever you want.
Well, that's what I'm planning. I'm going to try to get some, a couple revenue streams built up before I do.
Yeah.
Obviously, so I have some money before I come down there, and then I'm probably going to end up going into a dealership down there just in the very beginning until I can figure something else out. But
yeah,
it's something. I mean, hell, but this I put this up. I didn't even do nothing with it. Just organically, it got 23 members. So we'll see if it builds a little bit.
It's phenomenal, man. We've got our little photo meetup group. We got over 1,000 members in that thing.
Really?
Yeah.
People actually show up to events and stuff like that, though?
Well, yeah, a few, but, you know, not many.
Right.
I think the most people we've ever had at one was about 15 or 20.
Well, I want to take this and just use it as a traffic source and then kind of do like I'm going to figure out something like almost like the perfect webinar.
Yeah.
And come up like with a, like, you know, like a consulting product or something. But I knew that when I was down there last time. There's just so much opportunity down there. I mean, there really is as far as like population base. There's a lot more money.
Yeah. I mean, there's tons of opportunity. So, yeah, it's going to be good, man. And of course, you know, I'll help you any way I can.
I appreciate it. I'm interested to hear about this this house thing too.
Yeah, I'll send you some info on it. Hey, you never know, it might work out.
Did you guys? I mean, are you guys actually talking about? Actually selling the house or renting the house?
Well, it's for sale, but Yolanda said that what she would be willing to do is if you wanted to buy the house and it turned out you're not ready for it, she'd rent it back from you and just delay them moving.
Right. I don't know if I don't know if I got enough clout under me, like not necessarily like money wise, but like credit wise and stuff like that to get a house.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can introduce you to a mortgage broker who can answer that for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's come up, but it's still nowhere in the ballpark.
Mm-hmm.
But that's some stuff too that I really need to do. Like I got like some accounts that are just like maybe $100 and stuff like that. I just need to start paying off.
Do you know what your credit score is currently?
I'm pulling it up right now. I had it the highest it's been since I was like 20 something, which was like a 602, but then I did something and it dropped it down. So yeah, it's at 581 right now.
Okay. All right, 640 is kind of the cutoff. So
yeah.
That's going to be the line you're shooting for.
But I got like that right there actually bounced up 14 points in the past couple of days. I got something going on where it goes up like 20 points, drops down 20 points, goes up 20 points. So I just need to, that's something else I need to figure out.
All right. Well, that's good. Yeah, as you start knocking off stuff and getting stabilized, that's going to come up fast.
Right. But I'm only, like if you look outside of like the business, like the vendors and stuff like that, I'm only, like personal, I'm only $12,000 in debt.
Oh, man, that's great. That's excellent.
Yeah, because I'm looking at these, according to Credit Karma anyway.
Yeah.
It's pretty accurate as far as I can see.
Wow. Man, that is manageable.
Yeah. Yeah, it's never really been an issue of having bad credit. I've always dealt with cash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, because you can get from where you're at to where you need to be in pretty short order.
Yeah, that's what everybody keeps telling me.
Yeah. Yeah, just a little bit of time, a little bit of effort, you're there.
Some of these I could probably reach out, like this one's like $475, just tell them $100. You know what I mean? I know you can negotiate with them and stuff like that. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And just, hey, look, here's what I can give you. You want to call it square?
Right. Well, they'd be smart to do it. I mean, because I'll just let it fall off. So I've done that before.
Yeah. Yeah. And that way you can get it squared up and then boom, there goes your score back up again.
Right.
I love it. Man.
All right. You enjoy your Monday, sir.
All right, you do the same. And yeah, give me a jingle if you got any questions, if you want to chat.
Okay, will do. Thank you, Chuck. Appreciate it.
I'll be here. All right, take care, brother.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.